Hey everyone, it's Beth Summers from the Wilton Test Kitchen. Today I'm going to share an awesome recipe with you for pumpkin ale marshmallows. That's right, we are going to put beer into our marshmallows, and that beer is going to have a pumpkin flavor. So that's going to be really, really yummy. And nowadays, at this time of year, you can find all kinds of pumpkin flavored beers in the grocery store. I'm using Pumking, but you can use whatever you can find. So whatever you think you'll like to drink, you'll have some extra, so pick what you would like. The first thing we're going to do is prepare our 9x13 pan with Bake Easy. And then when your pan is evenly coated, give it a sprinkling of Confectioner Sugar. You want to coat the bottom and, like a ½ inch up the sides of the pan. This is going to prevent our marshmallows from sticking. And then if there's any excess in here, just pour it back into the rest of your Confectioner Sugar. Now we need to bloom some gelatin, and that's a scientific word for getting gelatin ready to release its jelly properties. So I need to have 3 packets of unflavored gelatin. They're also called envelopes. And I'm going to put that into a bowl with some beer to bloom. It's going to soften it up. So I opened my beer last night because you want the beer to be flat, because the carbonation in unflat beer, the way we would normally drink it, would affect the way that your marshmallows set up. So open up your beer, crack it, and let it sit open in the fridge overnight before you make this recipe. I'm going to put ½ cup of my flat cold beer into this bowl. And to that, I'm going to sprinkle over my 3 envelopes of unflavored gelatin. So when you're blooming gelatin, you don't want to dump all of it into one place on your liquid. Spread it out, because you'll see the liquid starting to absorb into the gelatin right away. And if you disperse it a little bit, makes it more easy for the gelatin to soften and bloom. So rather than dumping it all in at once, sprinkle it a little bit evenly over the top the way I'm doing here. So then just set this aside to bloom and soften as you're finishing up the recipe. Now grab a large saucepan. We're going to add our granulated sugar and our corn syrup to the bowl. When you're making candy, and by the way, if you didn't know, marshmallows are a kind of a candy, a confection, if you will. Corn syrup is awesome because it helps sugars to not crystallize. So it's actually got a really good, important purpose, so don't skip it. And then to my sugar and my corn syrup, I'm going to add another ½ cup of my beer. Now take this on over to the oven. You want to cook it over medium heat, stirring it consistently until the sugar dissolves. So once it starts to boil, stop stirring, and you will add a candy thermometer clipped to the side of your pan. We would just want to cook this until it reaches 240. Like I mentioned, no stirring at this point because it could cause crystallization, and that means you get like little rock candy things in your mixture. That's no good. So just cook this and wait until it hits 240. You don't want it to go above it. That's softball stage in candy making, and that's really, really important to making fluffy marshmallows. So we'll hang out here. So we're at 240, softball stage. So we're going to very carefully remove the thermometer. And this is going to be very, very hot, so be very cautious. We're going to pour this mixture into our bloomed gelatin. And this is the second half of blooming. Once you get the gelatin wet, then you have to reheat it to fully bloom it. Now we just want to stir this together to dissolve that gelatin underneath. So give it a little bit of a stir, make sure there's nothing stuck to the bottom or the side. And then take this over to your mixer where we're going to whip it on high speed for 8 to 10 minutes or until it triples in volume. It's going to get super fluffy, just like a marshmallow. All right, it's been about 10 minutes, and this is real ooey gooey. Let me lift it up and show you. It's real sticky, just like you would expect marshmallow to be, right? And you can really smell the beer too. It's really awesome. So now for my last step, I have the rest of my pumpkin, and I'm going to add it to my bowl. And I'm going to add a little bit of meringue powder. And the reason I'm adding meringue powder is that it's going to help stabilize my marshmallows a little bit. So it's going to make them a little bit lighter and fluffier, and it's just going to help to have that extra spring. So this is a really great thing to add to this recipe. I just want to whisk these. And when they're good and combined, we're just going to dump these into our bowl. I wish you could smell the beer in here because we added it in 3 additions in this recipe. You can really smell it. It's really fragrant. It smells really nice. And then I have a little bit of vanilla extract. It's going to amp up our pumpkin beer flavor. And a little bit of salt because salt helps to balance out sweet. into the bowl. Just gonna whip it until it's just combined. Won't take long at all. So now all we need to do is pour this into our prepared pan and refrigerate it for 4 hours or until it's firm enough to cut into. Give it a good bang. Check out that stickiness, ooey gooey. And we're going to pour it into our pan. Awesome. It's really, really shiny. Once we get it all in, we can smooth out the top. Oh, it's so sticky on the bottom. So I'm just going to smooth out the top, make sure it gets all the way from corner to corner and side to side. And then we want to let this set for 4 hours so we can cut it up. The wait is over. Our marshmallows are set, and now I need to dust the top with confectioner sugar because that's how they will be not sticky and I'll be able to handle them, getting them out of the pan. So give the top a good sprinkling, and then check this out. You can literally take your fingers and run it along the edge of the marshmallow, and it releases right from the pan, just like that. So it's just a big old sheet of marshmallow. It's pretty awesome. So loosen it up, like I've done here, and then we're going to take a piece of parchment here, and I'm just going to take my cutting board and flip it out. Super easy, comes right out. And now we're set to cut. If you wanted to, you could flip it back over. I'm going to dust it again with confectioner sugar because it's just insurance that nothing will get super sticky. It's kind of fun to deal with. And now we can cut it up. So when you're cutting marshmallow, remember those really sticky insides that we were dealing with? Here's how you get around that for when you're cutting. Spray your knife with a bit of Bake Easy in between cuts, and it will go right through for you. So I'm going to cut these to about 2-inch squares. And you can see I'm not getting sticking on my knife because the Bake Easy is preventing that. After they're cut, you're just going to want to dunk the sides in your confectioner sugar so that they're not sticky either. To finish these off, I like to top them with a heavy dose of melted milk chocolate. The milk chocolate, which is a little sweeter than semi-sweet or dark, really plays off the beer nicely and gives these a perfect finishing touch. And then just go for it. You could use candy melts for this. Anything you like, milk chocolate really is best though. Now you guys know why I did these on parchment paper too. It's so that when the chocolate hardens, it comes right off and there's no sticking at all. And there you have it, pumpkin ale marshmallows. Let me know your favorite ways to eat pumpkin and how you eat it all season long. Let me know in the comments below. And you can find this entire recipe below as well. If you make it, let me know what you think. I'm Beth, and I'll see you next time.